Tonight we've got the latest from Mattel. We're talking about Jurassic World Rebirth. Oh my God. This is the first time we're doing it on the live stream. All that and more. I am Brad Jost, and this is Let's Talk Jurassic. My buttons don't... Welcome back, everybody, to another Let's Talk Jurassic. This is your weekly-ish live stream here from the Jurassic Park Podcast. Thank you so much to returning viewers out there. Glad to have you back. I probably didn't get enough of you back this week because I just didn't promote it really at all until right now. But thank you for being here. And if you're a new viewer out there, thanks for tuning in for your first time. If you're lurking, please say hi. We'd like to see you. But yeah, we're just going to get straight into it because we have... good friend Aaron Beyer here tonight, and I gotta figure out where are my buttons. Here we go. Here it is. Aaron, you ready? Here it is. Aaron is.
It's friend of the It's friend of the show.
It's friend of the show. Yeah, I'm like so thrown off because it's been like a month of not doing this live stream, and I forgot where all my buttons are. I changed like my camera setup a little bit, so now I moved all of my screen to this side, and I've got other things over here, so I'm like trying to make sure everything's in the right place, and it's it's going great so far.
I mean, we had tech issues before we got here, so hopefully, fingers crossed, this just smooth sailing.
It's always fly by the seat of your pants. You know, it is always like, hey, is this going to work at all? Because you were having technical issues. There was like this tinny noise that we couldn't get rid of. And then all of a sudden, boom, fixed. And it was like, oh, thank God. But that happens more often than not here on the show. I don't know why. It's like you'd think 10 years into doing this, things would be maybe a little bit easier. You know, how many podcasts are out there that this service should be a little bit smoother, but it's just not. But we persist. We keep going. We keep pushing because we want to talk Jurassic. We got a lot to talk about tonight. Real quick before we do that, let me just showcase a few things here. Over on the website, I wanted to take a look at the 2 episodes that we released last week and this week. They're a 2-parter, so it's me and Tom Jurassic. Breaking down a lot of stuff that we'll talk about here tonight with Jurassic World Rebirth. But I love to get a different perspective. So yeah, we talked about the logo, the title, the synopsis in one episode. And then we talked about the images and the characters and more of the synopsis and story. So go check out those 2-part episodes, episode 389 and 390. Wow, we're getting up there. And of course, please go subscribe to the Substack, the newsletter that I've been doing, and I've been slacking on that because I haven't I haven't gotten mine out there, and that's because I had one all written up, Aaron, and it's almost done actually. I almost finished this one, but then they dropped the Rebirth news, and then I was like, well, I can't go with this one now, so now I'm like been scrambling to like think of a new direction for this newsletter and try to scramble up some more information. So that'll be coming out soon. But yeah, I'm interested in getting out the newsletter that I had written because I think there's some fun stuff in there. But Aaron, what do you want to do? You want to get into it tonight? You want to start talking some Jurassic? It's been a little while.
We can. In a surprising twist of events, Brad.
No, what?
I've been enjoying the movies that have been coming out this summer. I walk away from every movie lately not being like, that was just okay. I walk out going, well, all right, maybe we're back in business, after the strike. Twisters, excellent.
Yeah.
Deadpool and Wolverine, pretty darn good for a Marvel movie these days, especially one that's like rated R. Marvel's not used to that. And Alien Romulus, 85% great.
I
Not
know.
sure if you
I
saw
let
that
down.
one.
I
But
let down so many people when I say I think I've only seen like the first movie, the first Alien movie. I don't think I've seen any of the other ones.
so the thing is like you need to go see Romulus, and here's why. If you've only
Okay.
seen Alien, you're kind of okay. My nephew is like watching them for the first time. If
Okay.
you see an Alien, you're okay. If you really want to like clear things up, maybe watch Prometheus, but Prometheus might just answer a lot, like just might ask you more questions.
Hmm.
And spoiler, they're never going to solve those questions because Disney bought Fox and axed that whole series.
Yeah.
But Romulus is kind of like, let's just redo Alien again, sort of, but a little bit faster.
Hmm.
Um, it's really, really good, except for, in my opinion, the ending. But it's really
Okay.
fun. And as I was watching it, I was like,
Oh,
Universal,
we got our first
take
thumbs down tonight.
what's the
they hate
thumbs down on what?
maybe your
I don't
opinion
see
on
that.
Alien Romulus. I don't know.
I don't see it. Whatever. The whole time I was watching Romulus, I was like, Jurassic, do you see this?
Uh-huh.
It's not that difficult. Dark spaces, scary dinosaurs, people that aren't gods among humans,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
right? Like just people. And I was just like, if Rebirth can do this, then maybe I'm okay. I don't see my thumbs down. Not sure where that's at.
Oh no, it's just on YouTube. We got a few thumbs up and one thumbs down. I'm not blaming it on you. I'm just kidding. Um, I think people have been saying that for a while now about like a Jurassic video game, right? With Alien Isolation, they're like, why don't they learn off and do something based off of like that and that model? And I don't know if that's what we'll be getting with Survival. But yeah, I mean, it's the perfect kind of format, claustrophobic. That was always so great about Jurassic. I know there was very big landscapes at times, but some of the best moments were tight and like close
Yeah.
quarters and stuff like that. That's where it almost shines the brightest at times. Like thinking about the kitchen scene or anything like that. And when a dinosaur is right up in your personal space, that is the most terrifying. So
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
Alien, not to spoil, but Alien is 2 hours of something hunting you in a claustrophobic space, right? Like, I'm
yeah.
not saying it needs that, but like the Raptor kitchen sequence being, what, 10 minutes? It's so good. And I feel like if you could sprinkle that in throughout the Jurassic movies, I don't know, the World Trilogy, did the World Trilogy really have a ton of that? I feel like it was
Well,
kind of lacking.
I think the difference between what the World Trilogy may have done in any kind of sequence like that and what Jurassic Park did was that Jurassic Park took that sequence and yes, it was very tense um, and I don't know, but I think it was calm. It was like a calm and just like almost nothing happened moment, right? You think about they're just kind of wandering in between aisles and that's it. It's like so calm and just terrifying because there's not big loud explosions. There's not something crazy happening. It's just you're walking on either side of an aisle and there's terror on the other side of that. And that's what's so special about it. It's that calm, fearful nature of that sequence. And then of course there is like a loud bang and then it kind of gets a little wild at the end, but nothing like I feel like what the World Trilogy may have put on the screen. There's like I know there was you can kind of compare in any Indoraptor? Yeah, Indoraptor sequence. But Camp Cretaceous did it a few times and they actually copied the kitchen sequence. I don't know if you ever got around to seeing that part with the
Yeah, but
Scorpius.
yeah, I did get to see that part. And I remember that being like kind of cool for Camp Cretaceous. But I feel like Camp Cretaceous, and this is not like I don't want to say this is like a negative or a blame or anything because they're clearly trying to like for the adults they're trying to like evoke nostalgia and then for kids giving them something they probably haven't. I guess I don't know. Do kids watch Camp Cretaceous without having seen Jurassic Park? I don't really know,
Yeah,
but like
yeah, absolutely.
Oh, okay. So I mean, so for some kids that's just like a new concept, right? But like typically when you're paying homage to something and you are of a, I don't want to say a lower budget, but they're clearly not Disney over there, right? Like doing that cartoon. It's almost a cost cutting measure to like kind of just copy something, and it's a cost cutting measure that adds enjoyment to the sequence
Mhm.
anyway. So it's like everyone kind of wins, right? Like you save money by kind of just redoing certain frames and
Yeah.
referencing really heavily, and then everyone gets excited because it's like, oh, they're
Yeah.
doing the raptor kitchen sequence, right? Like
Fan service.
uh
But I think what exactly I mean too is that like when Jurassic World, and I'll count Camp Cretaceous as the Jurassic World, when they did that kitchen sequence, it was like I think there was a moment where like the Scorpius just kind of burst through into the kitchen, and like so it was a very different kind of sequence. You know, it wasn't the
sure.
calm, collected nature of the kids just kind of tiptoeing through. It was like boom in your face. Here we are. You
Oh,
remember
fair.
this?
Okay.
Smash. But yeah, so I think that's the difference, right? Like we're kind of lacking some of those quieter sequences. There's little moments of them, and I think that just goes for um, like all of film. Like you think of any quiet sequence in like Deadpool and Wolverine. No, it's just you know
Yeah.
completely loud and chaotic and just so much happening the entire movie. There's not a single moment that's just like chill. Um, but yeah, I think that's just like the film industry at large. It's just crazy. They can't even with Michael Giacchino. It's like the Michael Giacchino score is from start to finish basically, with like barely any gaps in the music. But that was what was so special about Jurassic was it was they took the time to let the silence speak and let things breathe. So that's what I'm hoping we get in the future here, with
Do you,
Rebirth.
I'm looking at the document because we're talking about Jurassic World. Do you want to flip our topics, or is there a reason that you've got
Well, yeah,
Mattel
let's just
first?
let's just cut it off here because yeah, we got to make people wait. We got to let them know,
I mean,
hey, stick
do they have to
around, watch the
do they have to
stream.
sludge through this? They have to slog through the Mattel
Yeah,
discussion because
yeah.
that's you're my thing. Like it's like what we're always talking about.
Yeah, you gotta like make people wait for the good stuff. So
Fair
speaking of
enough.
that, let's do an actual topic here. Let's dive into Mattel Jurassic stuff. That's not it, but let's go to last month's or this one. What month was it? Was it
I don't
August?
know.
I think it was August. The funny thing was we were gonna live stream had the last 2 weeks, and I apologize because the first week was this Beyond the Gates, and I told you like a few days or whatever before, I'm like, let's do it, and then this came out and I was like, I don't really we don't need to do this. There's nothing else to talk about, and this is not big enough to talk about. And then the following week I literally was sitting in a movie theater and I was like, oh no, I forgot to tell him I have tickets to a movie. So and I was watching Beetlejuice. But yeah, anyway, what do you think of this Hammond collection Allosaurus, the Beyond the Gates reveal from August?
I mean, I guess it's gonna depend on the size for me. I ordered one because it's a movie. It's a movie one. It's not like one that wasn't in films yet.
Hmm.
I've liked every Allosaurus design in the films. Every single one. I like them all. I guess my favorite one is probably the Allosaurus from whatever Allosaurus model they're using in the Jurassic World Park Builder game on PlayStation. That's like my favorite model. So like whatever one that is, um, it's not the young one. It's like one of the adults. But the posing on these promo images isn't all that great. But yeah, I guess I
Sure.
don't know. What are you thinking?
Well, it's fine. I'm excited for it. I'll probably pick it up. Yeah, I mean, it looks nice. I have no real complaints about it. I think, I mean, I do think like the Hammond collection could probably be painted a little bit better and stuff like down here on the legs and everything. It's just kind of like if I did this right here, you wouldn't be able to tell me whether this was other than the posability, I guess. But like you wouldn't be able to tell me line this is, what this is from. Is this Hammond collection? Is it core? Like, what is it? It's just basic looking.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I'm fine with it. But it's got that. I don't know. Does it have like a? It seems to have like no scar or anything. So I'm guessing it's just like Dominion version, because like Chaos Theory and Battle at Big Rock, that one had like the blind eye, and so it doesn't seem to be that one. And I always wondered, like, is the one that's in Dominion that fights the Carno? I think they're the two of them are out in that like square in Malta.
Yeah.
So I imagine it's probably around the size. I guess like around the size of the Carno, because I don't know. I mean, I'm sure you opened it. The Giga dude is huge. Like that thing is monstrous.
It's awesome.
Like
it's awesome.
So much bigger than even the T-Rex, and the T-Rex felt big. But then looking over, I'm looking at my toys over here. That's why I'm keep glancing over.
Yeah,
but like it's so much bigger. But in my eyes, like, or in my mind, I guess, like the Allosaurus should be big, but it's just not. It's just not as big as those. So it's it'll probably be around that scale, I would assume, for the Carno.
It should be the size of the Carno, and the Carno's a great figure.
Yeah.
We've got two back here on the shelf. So yeah, I mean, I'm excited to get my hands on this. I'm almost exclusively a Hammond collector buyer now. They come out at the pace that I want to spend money on these things. The reimagined, I guess I don't really understand the difference between reimagined and like the classic collection. I feel like those are like, I feel like those two things are just, they could just be the same brand, the same branding. And I think, I don't know if you and I talked offline about it, but like that Carnotaurus, right? And the T-Rex with the Jeep that came out. I kind of said like, yeah, I'm not doing those.
I think we might have streamed about the Carno, the demon one, and I was like, whoa, you don't care for this? I was like shocked.
I have the originals that they're going for, right? And then the same reason, like, I don't have a Red Rex, the new one. I don't have a new Red Rex.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have much of that stuff that's trying to like, and I don't want to say rehash in a negative way. Like, if I just had more like flowing income to spend on dinosaur toys, I would 1,000% probably get them. But I'm being a little more picky. Like, there's not much more room to put things up. My shelves are pretty full. I sell a hot toy every now and then if it's like a duplicate character, maybe not like a duplicate figure, but like I've got like 2 Iron Men. Okay, well, it's time. One can go.
I know we were talking about that with Wolverine, because I think we both pre-order that?
Yeah, we both pre-ordered the Wolverine, and like I had just gotten this. I don't know. You can't see it, but it's the Days of Future Past leather jacket one. And I'm just kind of like, I mean, geez, leather jacket or yellow fins. Like,
I mean, like, I see value in both of those, but totally understandable to get rid of a figure, I guess. But yeah, that's kind of like where I'm standing at. I'm liking getting those more so, because currently I have Wolverine, Beetlejuice, and Sabine from Star Wars on pre-order. So those are 3 Sideshow Hot Toys, whichever ones, I don't even know. But I got those 3 on pre-order, and I've been thinking so hard about like, what do I want to do with these standard Mattel figures, because I'll get a new figure. I don't know, like honestly, like any of that Hammond collection stuff. Like, I got it in here, and then I don't have anywhere to put it. I have nowhere to put it. So I put it on an old promo box that Mattel sent me. It's just sitting on, like, there's a promo box on the ground, and then Hammond collection figures on top of it. And that's it, because I don't have any more shelf space in here. And I think, like, in terms of the core stuff, like, I don't really need it anymore. Maybe if there's like a standout figure here or there, but don't really care to get it too much. And I'm okay with Hammond collection, and that's about it. And so whatever special items and like the classic, stuff. whatever it's going to be.
And I don't want it to be like,
you know?
I don't want it to be a knock against
It's not.
Mattel, right?
I think it's a plus
we've been
because we've been
collecting
doing
Mattel
it for
now
years.
Well, dude, wasn't it 2018?
2018. Yeah.
Dude, we're more than 5 years.
Yeah.
So, like, I get it. There's people out there that want to collect, and like realistically, if you're collecting one of every figure, you're probably still doing okay. But I think at the last stream, I was reading you some of the numbers.
Yeah, I know.
And it's like 40 some Velociraptors. Okay, like that's an entire box.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah. It's hard, man. It's so hard. I think
this Allosaurus is actually a perfect example. Like this is going to be the best sculpt that's come out for Allosaurus, especially the core line Allosaurs have never been all that great. But I feel like, yeah, once I get this one and a second Hammond Collection Allosaurus, why am I going to keep inferior sculpts? In my lineup,
seriously.
you know, like,
yeah,
I just don't know.
And to shout out here, Mosamel says it was marketed as Big Rock, but yeah, and then I scrolled down and I did see here it does say based on Battle at Big Rock. So,
well, do you think it'll get a Battle at Big Rock box?
I mean, whatever the box is gonna be, like I forget. They're just like, you know, the regular black boxes. They've updated them a little bit, and then on the side it'll have a logo or something, but because it usually has like a nice look. And then what is the logo? Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I have no idea.
What's a logo for Battle at Big Rock? That's awesome.
Would it be just like that wooden sign? Like I don't even know what they would have at this point.
I know that's why it's really That's why it's really interesting.
Yeah, that is going to be fun to kind of see. There was like not a logo, but like just a font. So maybe that's all they'll do is just kind of put it on there, because that's all it was just like the font choice. And it was just like the standard Jurassic style kind of, it was like the Jurassic World font, but with the line through the center of the letters. So I'll be interested to see what that looks like, what plays out there. But I think it looks good. If it was more based on Battle at Big Rock, I think I'd be way more interested. If this had like the blind eye and like, you know, imagine if it like came with like a crossbow, like, or an arrow that you could like embed into the like eye socket or something like that. That would be pretty cool. You know, if you had some figure like that, that would be pretty awesome.
This is how like behind I am. Like if you're listening, I guess I'll describe it. Like I've just got them sitting in boxes on the floor here. Like, oh, this is Pyroraptor completely.
I just opened that one the other day. Yeah.
You know, and I would actually like to get a couple more, but I'm so behind, and I don't know. I'd rather just put my money, I think, into some other things.
I got Claire sitting over there unopened. I got a handful of stuff just sitting there, like the Nedry classic thing. I've got the T-Rex and Jeep thing that I mentioned, or you mentioned. A T-Rex from Chaos Theory, a Star Wars box, Claire. I just opened up finally the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, Jimmy Buffett. Did you end up getting that or no?
No, I passed because the whole special thing was like his martini box or whatever, and I was like, or margarita. Margaritas. Clearly.
Martiniville. Here we come.
Oh yeah, here we go. Claire. Oh good. At least her eyes are on correctly. After leaving her in the box for so long.
Yeah, that's the thing you need to check as soon as it shows up. So just so you know if you need to return it or not. But
let's see. It looks like I got another Velociraptor number. This has got to be in the 50s.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was my problem when I first started. I wanted as many Velociraptor versions as possible.
Delta.
I did not choose to get that one. I passed on Delta.
But, well, okay. I mean, it's the Raptor squad.
I don't care, man. At this
There's
point,
only
like,
4.
They've gotten me to buy the Raptor squad too many times now. I don't need any more. I don't need any more. That's the thing, is like there's 16 different iterations of the Raptor squad. I've got them in Amber Collection. They don't look anything like the film versions, but I don't care. Like they look good enough. They look very good,
But
like for what they are.
what is this? This really should illustrate there are new kids coming of age to be Jurassic fans every day, and maybe we weren't supposed to collect from 2018
No,
to 2024.
We weren't.
maybe
We weren't.
maybe we were supposed to grow up and be old men and
yeah, well, the old part it's
true,
but the growing up part hasn't happened yet. But yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, the thing is, like, you'll put that on a shelf and they will fly off. Like they do sell. Like all that stuff sells. And I go to enough kids' birthday parties for either my son or my daughter, and like somebody always shows up with a dinosaur toy to one of these parties. And it's like they'll show up with like a Hammond collection T-Rex or something. I'll be like, whoa, man, you went all out for this birthday, like a Hammond collection. Why didn't you just get a core item? That's the playing one. Like they don't understand and they don't care, but I'm just like in my mind. I don't say any of that out loud.
Because Brad, it's all about being the cool parent. And apparently you're not the cool parent.
No.
You're not bringing the Hammond collection goods.
So before I guess we leave that one, $34.99 for that one. Pre-orders have sold out coming January, apparently. So I did not pre-order this. Did you pre-order it or no?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. I'm just waiting.
I messed up. And so now I'm all about the pre-orders because I messed up not getting Corianthosaurus or something. And so now it's like it's the only screen dinosaur I don't have. And boy, oh boy, let me tell you about them eBay prices.
Oh no.
Yeah. So pre-order dinosaurs that actually were on screen. Yes.
Okay. All right. So and the thing about this, let me go back here. Beyond the Gates, it was supposed to be, if we like take a look at this month, I'm sorry, it says Jurassic World Reimagined. I went back and watched my last live stream, and it was the Reimagined one was supposed to come out in August, so they flipped them. I don't know why. And we'll talk about one of the items that could potentially be that item, most likely, maybe, maybe not, who knows. But it was just weird. I thought it was weird that they flipped that. I don't know if we've ever had that happen before. I don't recollect like anything like that happening. Maybe it has. But that's why I kind of shut down the stream for us, because I was like, I thought it was going to be a reimagined item that we would like have something to talk about, not just Allosaurus. But here we are talking for 25 minutes about this thing. But yeah, I thought there would be more to it. So it was not the reimagined. It was just the Hammond collection one. So.
I mean, I have no issues with the reimagined stuff. I just I gotta wonder like what it would have to be for me to be like, oh yeah, like maybe a Spinosaurus, like one of the newer, bigger Spinosaurus models, but like with the Lost World coloring or something. Like I could see that being kind of cool.
I don't know.
I just I have no idea what they would have to do to get me to be like, yes, absolutely, but. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I like pretty much the stuff that they come out with that reimagined classic collection. It's the same thing. They just rebranded it, and I don't know why. I think it was cooler, but and certainly the box art and everything was better. But yeah, let's take a look at some things that are coming here via Collect Jurassic. They posted some stuff. This Stixosaurus. What do you think?
It's really cool. I'm not too much into the aquatic ones. I just don't know what to do with them. Like
how do you place it on a shelf? Like it does get kind of difficult.
Yeah, they all wind up in a box at the end of the day anyway. But realistically, look, I think it's time. I think it's time for a Hammond collection Mosasaur where its tail isn't sticking up at a right angle like it's taking a poop on your lawn. Like it's time. You know.
That would be a wild figure. Oh my gosh, that would be pretty big too.
Yeah.
I mean, it is
really
already very big, but
no, but it would be really big now that you're right. It takes out the Indominus like no big deal.
Yeah, that would be pretty big.
But but you know what? You know what? It would not be as big as a Brachiosaur, and we got that.
I guess not, yeah. So yeah, that's an interesting one. It's kind of like looks like a dragon plesiosaur or something like that. Now, speaking of the reimagined collection, that's what this looks like. This was the item.
I don't know what this is. Like, what is this reimagining? Maybe a JP3 toy?
I think there was a helicopter or something that had that look to it, no?
Was it Chaos? What was the Chaos line? Chaos Effect or...
I don't know.
I remember there being a green helicopter kind of like that. They had like a fin at the back that you would like hold on to or whatever.
I forget what it's modeled of. Vehicle. Oh, so all right. So in the first Jurassic Park line, there was the Capture Copter,
which had that mouth.
It had the mouth, and that's the similarity. Everything else completely different. So, I mean, it's got like two ski things, but that's like any helicopter has that. The old one had like very different, like wider body, different cockpit, longer helicopter, and some stuff underneath. So I think it's trying to be a take on that. But it's a weird mix up because it's like some random generic ACU guy that I think was modeled off of one of the Mattel creators. But nothing too crazy about that figure. It's just a very I don't know, it's like a very
I'm sending you a link. I'm sending you a link in Slack, and you tell me that this is not basically the same sculpt from the quintessential JP
Chaos Effect. Okay. Yeah, I mean it definitely has that more of a vibe like that for sure. Yeah.
For those listening, we're talking about the Chaos Effect Air Sabre, Sabre. It was like a green helicopter with like a black mesh window. It looks really similar to this.
Was this released, this toy?
Yes, I have it.
Okay. It's with Dieter Stark that looks like he's straight out of like Street Fighter.
Joe.
Like he's like Guile or something like that.
Street Fighter, yes.
Yeah, so that's pretty funny. But yeah, I could definitely see that body being a good comparison there. And I feel like it just kind of has like a very kiddie. Like there was the truck. You remember that truck that came out? It was like the same color, just that tan truck that had big wheels on it, and it had some cool features, but it just felt like a kiddie toy, like more so like an Imagine Next toy. I know I'm saying the kiddie toy. They're all for kids. I get it. I'm old. But what I mean is it looked like an Imagine Next one, which is for like toddler size, toy.
I think that's why I passed. And to be honest with you, I think you could still buy that thing because I don't think they moved 1 million units of it.
So this kind of feels like that, where it feels like a toddler toy mixed in with like a whatever the Atrociraptor. And,
which, by the way, that Atrociraptor is dope. I can't have another one.
Cool. I know, cool. I know. I like that color. And we'll talk about that again here in a second. But first, we've got another Indoraptor.
Yeah.
Ultimate damage. Okay. We've got another Scorpius, which is cool. I think this might have like some other features. Yeah, there's like a light up feature on there, so that's new. I'm excited that the Scorpius is getting another run. I think that's really cool. It looks good. I think this one looks pretty cool. Slightly different looking, but I like it.
I never picked up a Scorpius. Maybe I will.
Oh man,
we'll see.
Yeah. Wait, do I even have that out here anywhere? Oh yeah. Wait. Yeah. Yeah. I like this one more because of that gray under the neck. The other one had like a tan. I think this one looks cooler. But speaking of black and red, man, dude, this is pretty sick as well. But I don't need another Therizinosaurus. But man, that looks pretty cool. I've got two back here. I might have a I think I have a third one somewhere. But this is pretty awesome. This black and red one with the red beak. That's awesome. When I was a kid, when I was growing up, I like wanted to have all like black and red clothes. Those were, I guess, my like favorite colors as a kid. I had like a Yankees hat that was a black hat with a red logo. I was like, that's the coolest thing ever. Like, where do you find that? I found it somewhere, but I loved having those two colors combined. So this is pretty sick, man. I'm digging it. I don't know that I'll buy it, but I'm very tempted. Let's see.
So close. So close.
Yeah, almost black and red. Almost. I mean, the head, maybe. Yeah, we got the head, black and red on the head.
I would like to see, not the Quetzalcoatlus that they released for Dominion, but you remember the couple years ago when they released Quetzalcoatlus? That was kind of like their own design. I would love to see a very dark black and red version.
That would be cool.
Of that, like to kind of mimic the old one.
Yeah, I think this looks cool. This Pteranodon, Wild Roar Pteranodon with some black and red. I guess it is. Maybe the wings, they didn't look like it in the other picture, but they do here. So very cool. I don't know why is it? It's like that the color of the fall here, or what's going on? What is this thing? This thing looks pretty cool here. This Ceratosucops. Sucha. I don't know how to say these dinosaurs.
It's not the Suchomimus.
No, but it's a Ceratosucops.
Dude, that looks like a really good Suchomimus is what that looks like.
It does. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. I like it. Definitely won't get it, but it's a cool color pattern. I like that. It kind of looks like they just stopped painting it halfway through, but it's cool.
Fair enough. Yeah, it does.
We also got the Pierce from Camp Cretaceous, I guess. I don't know if this is supposed to be Pierce or not, but it's a Kentrosaurus. Looks pretty cool. I mean, like, a nice paint job, to be honest. Like I think that looks pretty stellar.
Yeah, but like the Kentrosaurus that came out for Pierce was Pierce's colors.
Yeah.
Brown, right? Like, okay, cool. But you know what? You know where the Kentrosaurus looks great is in Operation Genesis or whatever. No, not Operation Genesis. The Jurassic World Evolution 2. I've got like a river. I've got a river pen that there's a bunch of Kentrosaurs. They look really good.
Yeah,
they look really good. Oh yeah.
We also got this one, the last one here, the Cryotops. Now they're just making up dinosaurs.
I also feel like this is like I've seen this sculpt slightly different, and they were just like, oh, what's a dinosaur that kind of looks like this, and then like change the name.
I think I don't know which one it's giving me vibes of, but it kind of looks like maybe the Ceratosaurus or something without the horn, something like that. But it looks interesting. What's up with the like the texture on it? It's like very molded texture, patterny. I don't know. Interesting.
Just a ZBrush overlay that they like put on there at the last second to make it feel a bit more textured.
Yeah, so interesting lineup. I think it looks pretty cool, liking the black and red colors on some of these dinosaurs. But yeah, I probably won't pick up any of these. Yeah, probably not. But other than the Allosaurus potentially. So, but that was about it, I think. There. So that is the Mattel update for you. So pretty cool stuff. I look forward to see if that reimagined item is that helicopter. I don't know why it wouldn't be, but maybe they thought like it was a little soft and people weren't going to pick it up or something, and they just swapped it. But I don't know. Let's move on to the next thing, which is you know what? I'm going to have to change this one because let's see, new film. Let's talk new film news. We're still here on this. I got to change this live here because we actually have a title for this movie. How can I do that? It's not letting me change it. Oh, there we go. Oh, come on. Let's do it live. We're doing it live. All right. So Jurassic World. Oh, I don't want it to be lowercase.
Musamil is asking, he says he's almost done with the Jurassic World Aftermath. Is that the VR game?
Yeah. What's going on here? Why does it look like that?
So, Brad, let me tell you a little something about that. Remember I said I would never play that game? because I
Yeah.
thought it looked stupid. Well, when PlayStation puts PSVR 2 on sale, and then also puts Aftermath on sale for like $5 same week, I picked up Jurassic World Aftermath. And I gotta say, blown the F away. It's so cool. Dude,
I'm so
I didn't get far enough. I enjoyed it so much. And the thing is, I need to go into the settings. I was doing some weird thing where if you wanted to turn, you had to like flick your joystick and like it would like immediately shoot you like to the right or to the left, and it was making me nauseous. But I saw in some other games, you can they default that way, and then you can like adjust it so that your joystick acts like a camera should, where it glides. And so I need to go in and do some settings changes, but I think it would be cool for us to somehow like me stream it and you like watch me in VR be an idiot. Because I've taped myself playing VR, and let me tell you, that's a pretty humiliating experience.
Oh no.
But it was cool.
The thing is, I did the same thing. I played through that, and I recorded all the footage. All the footage is on my computer. And also there's shots, like I set up a camera and recorded myself the entire time from the outside, so you could see me moving. I just never did anything with it. I never synced it up together. I never put it out there. I think maybe I should, but I just never got around to doing it.
The question is this the closest we are to actually being able to do a new episode of Game Trail? Because I still haven't touched Classic Collection. Not really.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you've played Aftermath, I'm down to dive into it. I don't know. Something to think about. Something to consider for the fans.
Something to think about. I think one of our most popular videos recently was some Aftermath content, so might have to dive back into it. Yeah, for sure.
All
right, so I got it fixed. I had to fool around with it. I made the video like disappear. The iPad disappeared for a minute, so I had to find that. So thank you for wasting some time there. But Aaron, tell me, were you surprised when Rebirth got just thrown out there on social media?
I hate it so much. The name.
Oh no.
Brad, who's this movie? Like, this is telling me that they're gonna like kind of. I don't know. I guess I shouldn't hate it so much. It just seems like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth just had its big moment. Like, why now everything's gonna be Rebirth?
Well, we talked about this already, right? I think we talked about this before with the trademarks and stuff. I think you were on a live stream with that. Because I remember talking about the Final Fantasy of it all. And to me, it just sounded like a video game. But I'm excited for it. I think the name's fine. I think it signals like that we're kind of starting over a little bit, but at the same time, it does say Jurassic World, so we're not starting over that much. But I think people get it. Look, I mean, even when this logo starts, right? There's a sunrise. It's a rebirth. It's a new era. I'm surprised they didn't just use that. But yeah. So I think they're signaling exactly what this is going to be. So I was surprised we got that. We also got 2 pictures, and we got this major synopsis that we should dive into as well. I'll kind of skip around here, but it says anchored by iconic action superstar Scarlett Johansson, breakthrough talent Jonathan Bailey, and 2-time Oscar winner Mahershala Ali. This action-packed new chapter sees an intrepid team racing to secure DNA samples from the 3 most colossal creatures across land, sea, and air. Also starring Rupert Friend, Manuel Garcia Rolfo, whatever, blah, 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 blah. So interesting. This takes place. We finally got the confirmation after all this time. We've been debating, is this a prequel? What is this? What is this movie going to be? And we see that it's 5 years after the events of Jurassic World Dominion. So within this press release, they are letting us know that we're still going on the same trajectory here. We're still following in the footsteps. We're not erasing anything. Those movies happened. Like, because a lot of people were worried that we're starting over, or something like that. When there was a lot of reboot, this doesn't scream reboot to me at all. When you say this directly in the press release that this is 5 years after the events of Jurassic World Dominion, it does. It can be like I guess a soft reboot. I guess this term is so wishy-washy, I guess, but in terms of like a soft reboot, I guess it's like, well, maybe we won't focus on anything from the past or anything necessarily, but we're continuing in the footsteps.
I think
were
that's
you
all.
surprised?
Really... No, because I think that they've invested so much money in the Jurassic World marketing and having that they're maintaining two trademarks. They're maintaining Jurassic Park and Jurassic World. Like, that's not nothing, that cost, right? So I just think I was like, yep, it's going to be a sequel, and that's totally fine. In fact, I think if they did a prequel to Jurassic Park, I think it would be called Jurassic World something or other.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think the Jurassic World branding is going anywhere, and I'm to the point now where I don't think it needs to go anywhere.
Yeah.
I guess I'm surprised that people thought that our stuff was going to get erased or whatever, because I feel very much like I don't even really consider this a reboot necessarily. I mean, the latest Planet of the Apes, like, it was different apes, right? I haven't seen all those movies, but like it was a whole different like era and time and like characters, but it still was in line with the new Planet of the Apes movies, was it not?
Mm-hmm. I guess so. I'll be honest, I didn't get a chance to watch it yet.
I haven't seen them.
I really like those other ones.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wished that upon the Jurassic World franchise at one point by saying, like, I think we should step around the universe and just kind of play with the timeline and not be so strict about where we visit things in sequential order. I think we should just jump to, what year is it? 2024. So like jump to like 2249 or something, like a Blade Runner kind of, like jump far ahead into the future and just to see like what does that world look like? How has it changed? I'm okay with kind of jumping around the timeline and just giving us stuff, but we're not doing any of that.
So I don't need to jump around the timeline, but I also don't need a trilogy of ScarJo movies. Like, let's do this Scarlett Johansson movie, and then in 3 years, let's see a movie starring someone else, and then another movie starring, like, let's see different events going on, and then maybe there's a globe-trotting movie where they all kind of come in and they maybe approach Avengers in a specific way, like kind of a way.
I like that. I like that idea. But that's like, I feel like Star Wars has been doing that, right? With their Disney Plus content, they've been kind of giving us all these different characters. And then the idea seems to be that they will all show up in the Dave Filoni movie in a few years or whatever. So that's actually a really cool idea. I hope they kind of follow that format because I'm like, I would like to explore different things instead of like just following the same characters over and over. Because we've said it so many times in the past that Jurassic, I don't know what we said, but we've said that like these are singular movies, singular stories. Like, we don't need to keep following Alan Grant. We can follow different characters. We can go from following Alan for the most part in Jurassic Park and then go follow Ian Malcolm in the next movie, and Alan's not even in it. And then we can go back to, Alan Grant. Yeah. And, I kind of like that idea. So that's why I want, maybe if they did follow Scarlett here, and then the next movie, let's do the Kayla Watts movie. Let's go there. And then the 3, we can bring everybody together or something. But go ahead.
And I'm looking at the chat, and it's like John asks any news if Rexy is alive. And I'm just like, I'm fine with, because here's the thing. The more we focus on these dinosaurs as characters, Brad, how much were you and I talking before Dominion about who's going to die? We're waiting for something or someone to die. And it's like, just let Rexy, she had her sunset moment with the Lost World Rexes. Let's move on to another T-Rex, because I'll tell you what, the new T-Rex is going to look probably relatively the same. And you'll have no idea, because we've been questioning what Rex is which for the last 20 years. So it doesn't really matter. And I think that's
Yeah.
like to the same kind of the same point of this Allosaurus toy. I don't know. Is it the Allosaurus from the short? Is it the Allosaurus from Dominion? I don't know. It's an Allosaurus.
Yeah.
Like, who cares?
Yeah. I like the idea of let's not bring it up. Let's not talk about all this stuff. Where do we think Blue is? Where's Rexy? Is she alive? Yeah, I think you're right. Like, we're done with that. I don't think we're going to be focusing on that. So I think we can just move aside and kind of.
You're just asking for disappointment because when they start answering questions, that's when you start going like, oh, okay, I guess.
If we got like a movie or two with no Rexy or Blue, and then like maybe like movie 3 or something, all of a sudden Blue shows up somewhere in the world, like that would be kind of cool. Like, oh yeah, Blue's back. Like that'd be fun. Like to get a little break and then see what she's up to at some point. But we don't need to. It's not the story now.
The only thing that I really thought was crazy interesting about this press release is that they say just 5 years after the events of Dominion, the world's ecosystem cannot support dinosaurs. So they've all retreated to the equator, basically. Mm-hmm. And it's like, dude, all that work that like Trevorrow did to set up a Jurassic World, we're basically back in the tropics. And like, it's like, dude, like, really? Look, I've been on the podcast a million times. Yeah, I've been on the podcast a million times saying global dinosaurs is stupid. It doesn't work. It's only interesting for like a couple, like maybe one film. And here we are admitting that I was right. Dinosaurs in the snow, it's stupid. So
look, I gotta say you were right, I guess, to an extent. I think there's plenty of fun stories to be had, but I think it doesn't need to be this massive, huge story. I think it just needs to be smaller stories to make them more interesting. But this kind of takes everything out that we've ever talked about. I feel like, just kind of wiping the slate clean and starting fresh with like a new not demographic, but a new environment and new stuff like that. Like, because they just admitted defeat, like right there in that text, that like the ecology is proven largely inhospitable, and that was not the world that they set up. They wanted this to be dinosaurs everywhere, and they were shipped to different parts of the world, and I feel bad because like even Chaos Theory is still going with that plot. So I'll be interested to see how much these things end up connecting, if at all, because 5 years is not a lot of time to to fix any kind of discrepancies there. But it's interesting, man. I'm shocked that they just kind of are doing away with that story. But I guess at the same time, I don't know, it doesn't really surprise me because of a lot of people didn't like it, didn't really take to the idea that they put on the screen.
I mean, but Dominion was, I'm trying to think, like Malta, warm climate, right? Like, so where was the cold climate? Just the very beginning of the movie where they're
like California,
like Northern California. Yeah.
So, but I mean, like, even if you think about evolution too, like they're in Pennsylvania, so they've come all the way across the country. I'm sure they're up in Canada or wherever. Like, they're all over the place. But
like, here's the thing: it's like, for as much as I kind of thought that idea was stupid, like, doesn't this now give us a reason for like dinosaurs to not just be like leathery lizards? Like, doesn't this more justify changing the designs to have a lot of feathers and like, I guess birds live in tropics as well, but like, I don't know. It seems like it would be a cool thing where it's like 5 years after Dominion, the dinosaurs are evolving faster than we expected to their new habitats. Like, that's what they could have done, but they just went, no, Aaron was right. Screw it.
Well, I think we will see some of that.
They gave up the fight.
We will. But yeah, they just gave up. It's wild, man. Like, I can't believe they just kind of threw in the towel on the whole dinosaurs across the world. And they're like, people want to see them on an island, and that's the only place. And I'll be interested to see like how much still survives. And But they say the three most colossal creatures within that tropical biosphere hold the key to a drug that will bring miraculous life-saving benefits to humankind. So in one world, they are like distancing themselves, but like being 5 years after Dominion, that's still a kind of a thread from Dominion itself with Biosyn and everything. There was talk of that even in Dominion. So I don't know if this, Martin, whatever his name is going to be like a Biosyn person or some other company, but the threat is still there. It's still there. They're not totally distancing themselves, but at the same time, it's like, we messed up,
It'll be really interesting. Maybe it's the Oklahoma of it all since I've moved here, but like this movie to me feels like it's going to be controversial in the sense that like the COVID vaccines have just become even more controversial as time has gone on. I feel like, and it's like, remember we were saying like, oh, Dominion must have been changed because of COVID. Like there's some clearly virus like themes in it. And it's like they moved away from that, but now they're going to move into another controversial thing, which is drugs and
I bet medicine.
I don't know.
I think they're going to still evolve right back into that storyline because I could see a world where like whatever the key to this drug is, like it can't be that simple, right? Like we have to assume that. Where's the character's name? I'm looking for it here.
Like,
His name is Martin Krebs.
Do we solve cancer? Do we solve cancer in Jurassic World Rebirth? That just seems like too much.
Well, that's what I mean. Like I feel like this Martin Krebs guy, it's a very obvious comparison to that Martin, I don't remember his last name, but he was a big pharma guy who's in jail or whatever. He, in real life.
Yes.
Isn't
the guy that was charging just like obscene amounts of money for certain drugs.
It's like the same kind of story I feel like they're probably going to be telling. I don't know. Maybe Martin Krebs in this movie as what's his name, Rupert Friend. Maybe he's going to be a great guy. I don't know, but I feel like that comparison with the first name being in Big Pharma lends him to be a bad guy. I don't know. You have to work this out with me because like let's assume this Big Pharma guy he's sending them out, right? He's going to say, go on this mission, go find this DNA so I can charge exorbitant prices for this medicine that will save everybody in the world or whatever the case is. There has to be more to it than that, right? I don't know. Do you think we're going to go down the route of like, oh, here's another guy that wants to use the dino DNA for some other thing? Or do you think it's just Big Pharma, just medicine, and that's the storyline? Because where does the storyline go after this? Like,
are you egging me on here?
I mean, I'm trying to get an answer out of you. Yeah.
Dude. Oh no, I just had a
what do you think
thought.
happens? Do you think anything else occurs here? Because like I can see a world where let's talk about
no, stop.
Let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about it. Maybe
are you trying to get me to say that if you inject people with dinosaur DNA, they become dinosaur human hybrids?
I was thinking maybe is that a line of questioning we should talk about? Like should we, you got to assume that Steven Spielberg probably hasn't let that go, right? Like you have to assume that. I think that's probably a direction. That is one direction,
Dude,
that's the Harry Styles direction.
Gareth Edwards would not do me dirty like that.
I mean, Gareth Edwards might be the guy to pull it off.
No. Dude, Gareth Edwards gave us... I mean, I haven't seen the latest one that's like not the Kong...
The creator?
Like, no, the Godzilla like -1 or whatever, Godzilla 0. I don't know what they're calling it.
That's a different one, yeah, altogether.
I haven't seen that, but like...
Has nothing to do with Gareth Edwards.
I know, but Gareth Edwards did the last great Godzilla movie. Which
okay.
Godzilla 2014?
14, yeah.
Dude, why?
Well, all right. Why? So let's talk about that. There is the potential if you're getting DNA from dinosaurs to make a drug to inject it to people to give them, life-saving benefits. That's great idea. But there could be side effects. One side effect is dino-human hybrid. Let's just put that on the side, okay? We don't need to discuss that anymore. But there's also, let's say, like a DX virus kind of thing, but for like the human side of it, like, maybe there's some sort of virus in the dinosaurs that is, causing a COVID-like situation again.
Dude,
in humans,
They cannot do that. And I'll tell you why they can't do it. People in the theater during Fallen Kingdom laughed and rolled their eyes so hard at Maisie being a clone. There is no way.
Oh, dude, it would be so bad.
Universal
it would be so
does.
laughable.
There's no way Universal does dinosaur human hybrids. The Indoraptor is, in my opinion, the best version of that. And like, they just need to let it go. They spent so much money on those They spent so much money on those crappy drawings. They got to keep them coming forward.
Mosmel says that sounds very much like what Lizard was doing in Amazing Spider-Man. Yeah, and then he wanted to turn everybody in the city into a lizard, right? Like
lizard for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know.
Dude,
it's a lizard brain. But I think those are potential possibilities. Because I don't see this as a story where like this guy is secretly trying to set up his own park. He's not like a Dodgson. I don't get that vibe. Like he's going to be doing something with the dinosaurs and making dinosaurs. Like that doesn't seem like this kind of story.
Dude, the only way I'm even like slightly okay with this happening is if this guy injects himself. His skin starts to change and he just dies because his body can't handle it. That's it.
But that's literally Lizard again. That's literally like he can't get
Lizard,
the FDA to sign off on something, so he just does it himself. It's a Green Goblin.
But what I'm saying is Lizard becomes a character and like runs around and fights Spider-Man. I'm saying this guy needs to do it for the first time and die. Movie over. Bad idea. Like the dinosaurs are safe once again.
I guess. I mean,
dude, why?
Yeah. It just seems like a dead end for the dinosaurs, with them again being isolated to these equatorial environments. We're now, I guess it doesn't have to be just an island. It can be like Costa Rica and like warmer climates and jungles and things like that. So they can definitely be still alive all over, but like it does feel like a dead end for the dinosaurs themselves, as far as like expanding that storyline. I don't know where we go from there, but there is some more interesting parts of it, though. Let's see. It says, so Scarlett's name is Zora Bennett. She's a skilled covert operations expert. So how do you feel about that? Right away, because it's very much. She is a skilled covert operations expert, Zora Bennett.
So she's Black Widow. Cool.
She's Black Widow, but also Owen Grady, kind of like. You had just talked about like not wanting necessarily like superhero types or something like that, right? Does this give you pause?
I mean, I guess. I don't know. Like, no, not really, because Owen Grady kind of was this character. I see her on the docket that we're talking about. Like, is there anything legacy that we're hoping for? I guess maybe I'm hoping that Owen shows up to kind of pass the torch or something, like.
Oh yeah, I can't imagine.
Oh, I can't go on this mission, but my friend Black Widow can, and she was great fighting Thanos. So send her.
We got a new Owen impression in town. I dig it, man.
That's my Owen impression.
Oh man,
I love that. That doesn't give me pause. I mean, I think that army people in Jurassic are about as uncreative as it gets, but sure. Throw one in there.
That would actually be pretty good. Like, I think that would be a great passing of the torch, is like this Martin Krebs guy. He's like, I got to call somebody to get me this dinosaur stuff. Who should I call? Let me call Owen Grady. And he's like, hey, I need you to go do some dinosaur stuff. And he's like, literally, no. And he hangs up. And then we just get a text from him. Check out my friend Zora Bennett, sends her the resume, sends the resume.
It's
just like a stupid.
Yeah, they can't even get the cameo. Or he's just like, no, I'm over it.
Yeah,
I'm too
I think that
busy
would be
making
good.
my Marvel money.
That would be fun. But yeah, it sounds like a very similar type character, Zora Bennett. She's contracted to lead a skilled team on a top secret mission to secure genetic material from there's just so many words in this thing. It's all big words and fancy words. They're going to get them from the 3 most massive dinosaurs. So yeah, I don't know. It's whatever. We'll move on to the next part. It says when Zora's operation intersects with civilian family on a boating expedition, it was capsized by marauding aquatic dinos. They all find themselves stranded on an island where they come face to face. Now, I want to get your opinion on this. With a sinister, shocking discovery that's been hidden from the world for decades.
Wait. Say this again. Read that one more time.
So Zora's on her mission. She intersects with this civilian family whose boat capsized because of some marauding aquatic dinosaurs. They find themselves stranded on an island where they come face to face with a sinister, shocking discovery that's been hidden from the world for decades. He hates it. Look at him.
No.
Bleep it.
Buddy, are we going back to Sorna?
Dude, I mean, I don't know. I think it's very possible that we're gonna go back to Sorna. I think it's also possible that it could just be, island number 3, site C, or it could be something else. I definitely think there's a possibility. I had made the point,
be Sorna, right?
Because what is the sinister, shocking discovery that's been hidden from the world for decades? We're going to go back decades. We're probably going to be around the time of Jurassic Park, I would assume. And I think, like, if you're going to have a sinister secret, Site C would work really well as, like, we take, and I said this with Tom, we take all the first batch of dinosaurs that look horrible, hideous, disgusting, and we put them on Site C for further testing.
No.
I
don't. That's just too much, man. Like, I get it. I dig the idea because I think I've been a proponent of this before. Like, I dig the idea of, like, there being, like, reject dinosaurs that weren't pretty enough to put in the park. But I just feel like, as scientists, you just be like, whatever, like, just kill it, like, terminate, be done.
Yeah.
Throw it out.
I wonder if you're like, I mean, any scientist that's doing something like this for the first time, I would assume they would, like, just trust the results, but maybe they would keep them for further, studying or something, and they would put them, on some other island or whatever. Like, I could definitely see that happening. But at the same time, like, there's no way that nobody would know about this. Like, just fly a plane and look, use a telescope, go to the island, and you would see that there's terrible stuff there. Like
Google satellite,
like, there's no way you could hide that from the world for decades. I don't know what you could hide. We have seen that there are, like, interesting set pieces, we'll say. I don't want to give it away too much, but there's been interesting set pieces out there that could be, relevant to whatever this sinister, shocking discovery is. But it would be more than decades, I would assume, whatever that discovery is. What is your take, man? What do you think this sinister, shocking discovery is?
I mean, I just kind of wish it was, like, a revival of Spinosaurus, but I know that's not going to be the case. Like, I just kind of want it to be Site B, and I just kind of, I don't know what I want out of the sinister. Wait, what's it? How is it described?
Sinister, shocking discovery.
Sinister and shocking discovery.
Now, I did mention this to Tom as well in our episode, but, like, they did use the word sinister for the Scorpius Rex reveal. Like, in the press release and stuff like that, there was a sinister, secret or whatever it was, whatever they said.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
I mean, but would they do Scorpius Rex again? Like,
dude, I would love that, man. If they gave us, there's no way, but, like, if they gave us Scorpius in live action, that would be incredible. I would love.
But isn't that just like a
Scorpius is
rehash
so
of
cool.
like? It just seems to me like a rehash of like the mutant dinosaur again, right? Like the hybrid.
Yeah.
Dinosaur.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. That's why I don't think it will be, because I don't think we're gonna get hybrids. But, and I said this to Tom as well. Like the world, like I guess Universal loves the hybrids so much that I could totally see them at least still wanting to do hybrids in some way. Like this is an idea from so early on that, and then it continued on through the human dino hybrid, and then with Jurassic World, we got all those hybrids and Fallen Kingdom. And I think they could continue doing that with, like I said, the reject dinosaurs. That could be the new hybrid, is just the rejects. They're not technically hybrids, but we can keep doing hybrids without actual hybrids.
Could anybody have like anybody that died on Sorna? Is there anyone that could have been surviving there since like 2001?
Yeah, I mean,
97, 2001. Like, is there anyone that died on screen that you're like, well, maybe they might still be alive? They're pretty like explicit about it when in those movies. Like, yeah, this person died because he got snatched up by Spinosaurus jaws.
Yeah, but that's,
I don't know.
To me, like that stuff's like the sinister is interesting. I mean, it's just a buzzword that they threw into this, but like, what could be so sinister and shocking that like it's not going to be the reveal of a dinosaur to me, or like a person alive. Like to me, it has to be something that. And I said this as well on the episode this past week or so, that like, I just hope it doesn't tarnish whatever the legacy is of the first film, you know, whether it's John Hammond and his legacy or the first park. Like, what is so bad that would be deemed sinister and shocking? And you know, why would it be hidden from the world for decades? It's very interesting. I want to bring up, Muzamil here says, to kind of tie into DX virus, maybe a dinosaur that is highly contagious that they're trying to prevent from reaching the mainland. Yeah, I mean, definitely, like, that's why I think the rejects or something like this idea he says here, could be interesting, because, like, we need to really keep these things secret. But, like, I don't, again, like you said, I don't know why they wouldn't just kill them off, I guess, and just be done with it.
Take the plot, right? Like, oh, they're gathering materials to make a life-saving, like, vaccine. Maybe through like sci-fi magic, they create the vaccine to like cure these people that have been like isolated on this island that got sick with some kind of like virus. I don't know, with some kind of DX virus. Like, and they just, that's how the movie ends, right? Is they save this population of people that have been exposed to, I mean, I don't know, like what, I don't really remember the DX virus all that much. Like, I know it's a thing, but like, what was it? Do you know exactly what it was?
I don't remember the exact details of it, but I like Jurassiraptor here saying the sinister secret discovery hidden for decades has got to be a tribe of dino-human hybrids living in the ruins. Now, I want to take what Jurassiraptor says and what you just said and kind of like mix it together as if, you know, maybe there was during the testing phase for the initial park, maybe there was a bit of information that Wu put together about being able to use this for medical benefits. But John Hammond suppressed that information because he wanted to focus on his park, and like, because there could be some information about like suppressing this cure, like a cure for cancer that's been hidden on this island for, you know, decades, that maybe it went wrong. Maybe they tested it on, you know, this some tribe of people that have been living in the ruins on Nublar or Sorna or some other island. And it, you know, it created like a I don't know, like just a bunch of dead people on this island that they're not zombies or anything. I'm not going that route. I'm not going that route.
Brad.
But it killed off a tribe of people that, you know, I don't know, something like, it could be interesting if they like tested it on somebody that got bit by a dinosaur and got sick, and then they tried to cure the people, but then it killed off the people. So it could be like they tried to cover up something like, but if that's the case, that would severely tarnish John Hammond, Jurassic Park, whatever his name is, Lockwood. What's his first name? I don't even remember.
Benjamin Lockwood, right?
Benjamin Lockwood. Yeah, it would tarnish everything about the first park. Like Henry Wu, he's been hiding a secret this whole time. Like, no way. Is that
It would,
serious?
but
Can we
like,
go that route?
but here's the thing: what you're talking about, Brad. Do you remember the prologue of Jurassic Park, the book?
I mean, yeah.
The prologue talks about like pharmaceutical people like just testing things on populations, and then like when all hell goes haywire, they just are like, peace, like have fun with your rotting flesh in your village, right? Like, so this like what you're talking about, a population of people, a shocking revelation, cloning DNA, like to me that's like that is very Crichton, right? If anything, you know. I also am thinking like, I feel like Crichton's book Next had some like ideas of this like floating around, like I don't know. I feel like this is a little bit of a mix of Next and Jurassic Park, kind of what we're talking about.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think it could be interesting if that was the case, but I think that would be so devastating, you know, to have a story like that. So I really hope we don't go that route.
I feel like in the wake of a global pandemic, that's weird. John talks about, what about dinosaurs being hunted for sport? I feel like we've had that storyline with the Lost World, and like we've covered the change of heart, right, of a big game hunter and stuff. So I don't know if they would do that again, but then again, like the Jurassic World trilogy is basically just a rehash of the original trilogy. So I don't know. Very interesting idea, nonetheless.
Yeah, I'm trying to look up my I switched like note services, so I don't have like all my notes as readily available. I was trying to look up the stuff about the novel.
It's like in the very beginning, it talks about like they weren't trying to clone dinosaurs. They were just, these were like just different genetics companies trying to figure out how they could make money off of modifying DNA. And one of like the earlier, before, it was almost like there were all these companies trying to use it for medical things, and like it kind of going haywire. But then like John Hammond was like, dude, why, like you're using this for like really you're using this for nobility? I'm gonna make an amusement park, like, and make a ton of money. Like,
maybe because
John Hammond is
such a good route.
Maybe, I mean, John Hammond was a little darker in the novels than he's in the.
Yeah, and maybe that could be a way to bridge that gap a little bit, because he is such like a happy grandfather, you know.
Could Benjamin Lockwood, because Benjamin Lockwood was clearly doing some dark stuff with human DNA and genetics, could Benjamin Lockwood become our dark character? So that, like, because does anyone really care if you tarnish Benjamin Lockwood?
Yeah, that's why I thought he would be a nice scapegoat, just like pinning on him. Yeah, absolutely.
Like, who cares? Just don't ruin John. But like, who cares what Ben does?
And maybe that could be why there is because we don't really know why there's a divide, to be honest, because we all thought the divide was that like he cloned his daughter, and there was dude, what is the divide? He didn't clone his daughter. That didn't happen. That's what we thought.
What?
He didn't clone his daughter. His daughter had a child that was just Maisie, and it was just herself or whatever, basically.
Oh, you're saying she wasn't like cloned? Like, you're right. Yeah, you're right. She wasn't cloned like in a tube.
It wasn't some sinister, shocking cloning that took place that John Hammond was like, I can't believe you did that. We can't be partners anymore. You know, like, that's not what happened. So that's kind of like the idea of like why I thought, oh, they split up. I don't remember ever hearing like a real take on why they split up, but maybe this could be a reason, you know, like, I don't know. I
Wow,
think that probably
Dominion
was
really
the reason, but then they decided to change the way they
Dominion really
made
was just an anticlimactic letdown, wasn't it? Wow. Like,
I
I
love
mean,
it. I love it.
hey,
But yeah, there
we
are
did all these terrible
contradictions.
things, and we did all these terrible things in Fallen Kingdom. How can we make them not so terrible? I mean, I guess that's how you're going to clone a human, right? Like, you're just going to clone yourself and have a you baby. Do you remember the dark conversations we had? Do you remember the dark
Wow.
conversations we had about how like there just must be like fields full of
Oh yeah.
dead Maisie clones, like
Uh-huh.
based on the fact that like you would never just get a perfect Maisie out the gate.
Yeah. And that's why I think like there's probably fields of dinosaurs out there that maybe are living and just look, hideous, that they wanted to hide because they were too sinister. I don't know, but like yeah, I'm trying to look through this. I don't see much that I can get. I have to I have to read the book again. Maybe I should do that again. Every few years, got to reread the book. But yeah, I think let's keep going. There's a little bit more to talk about here.
Yeah, for sure.
So Duncan Kincaid, that is Mahershala Ali, Zora's most trusted team leader, and then Jonathan Bailey is a paleontologist. So we've got another paleontologist back in the mix. Is that nice? You happy about that?
I guess it's always got to be one, right?
So we've got Zora, who maybe she knows Owen, maybe Owen knows her. We've got Dr. Henry Loomis, who maybe he's got to know Dr. Grant at this point, right? Like he has to know. He knows of him for sure. We know that, but maybe they've met. Maybe they're, peers of some kind. I don't know. But let's see. Big Pharma. We talked about that. We got the family with Manuel Garcia Rolfo, and then a few kids. There was like Luna Blaze, David Iacono, and Audrina Miranda as the family, and they did mention that there's Zora and Krebs' crew, so that does confirm that like Krebs probably hired them to go out there and do this. So yeah, I don't know, and yeah, I think John here also says maybe Zora knows Kayla. That's my hope, is that Kayla shows up in some way. I don't think it'll happen here, but like I hope there's room for that character to still be a part of this franchise, because 5 years later, there's still the opportunity.
Is Kayla like? Are you and I just the only ones clamoring?
I don't think
to
so.
be like this was a justified character. Like, you did a good thing here, Universal. Like, why would you kill it? Granted, I get it. Her career's it's not a Scarlett Johansson career, but why wouldn't she be the Mahershala? Like, Scarlett Johansson needs transport, yeah. Why?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't her transport be Michaela? Like,
yeah, it would have.
Yeah.
It would be so great if they did, but or even like, how like Star Wars will be like, here's the rebel base, but then in the background we do see like, here's like the ghost or something from Star Wars Rebels. Like, let's have that be Kayla's plane. Like, we go to some airfield and we just see her plane in the background. A nice reference to it. You don't need to have her. It's just a tease for the future. Like she's at the same airfield and doing some job or something, but she's not a part of the story. That would be nice enough, but yeah, I don't know. Dresser out there says kind of getting Levine vibes from the novel for Jonathan Bailey.
So it's funny. I was just going to bring that up. Like, what is so wrong with using the Levine name? Like, why do they insist on not using this character? Because, okay, fine, the Lost World is done, but you can, like, they didn't touch Levine in the Lost World. So why not bring this character from the book into a new story and, the eager scientist, right?
Yeah.
Kind of grew up in a world of dinosaurs, but has never seen one kind of thing. I don't know. Like, they clearly have no problem taking liberties in this franchise, so why not just use the Levine name? Like, that would get so much nerd cred. Like, you have no idea. People have no idea.
I also like, like one of the disappointments is like it's not a prequel, so we're not going to get like a Marty Gutierrez kind of storyline. I think that I guess there's room to do that character in the a story set within this timeline in the future. So I guess there's always the possibility that you could, but like I still want to see like that character reused. There are a bunch of characters that would be good, but
Who's Marty? Who's the Marty Gutierrez character?
he was like investigating the whole dinosaur attacks and stuff in the first movie on the coastlines and stuff. So he was from the first book.
From the first book, okay.
Yeah, I was hoping he'd be a part of it, but he's not. So, but yeah, that was the entirety of the synopsis. So we got so much, dude. Like I can't believe we got so much out of this synopsis. Like that's crazy. We got a ton of information. So wild. Didn't expect that. But we also did get some pictures. We get that logo. Any thoughts on the logo? I mean, talk about it before.
I dig it. I like the sun. I like the sunrise thing.
Why am I gonna twist it? I don't want to twist it.
I don't know how excited to get for this logo because I know they won't give me a poster with just that logo anymore. So, like, whatever, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not working. Had it working before, but now it's just playing music. All right, so let's go over to the pictures then. Poster's fine. I think the picture's good, but good picture during the long grass. Somebody had mentioned that before. The long grass. Where was it?
Yeah, and there's definitely some like mountains back there that look like Hawaii.
Ajay, one with the long grass. Are they going to trip over like his backpack or something? This is an interesting picture though. We do get. Not sure if you took a look, but actually, let's go to JurassicParkPodcast.com. We do have the pictures here too. Can zoom in a little bit better. We do got an InGen logo on the side of that pillar. That pole.
Dude, they're on site. They're on site B. They've got to be.
I mean, it could be It could be site anything.
No,
it could be
stop. No, there's not
be
more than two. There's not more than 2 islands. It's too much.
Any of the 5 deaths. It could be.
No, the 5 deaths. The 5 deaths just mean that like when you go around these 5 islands, people die and they don't know which island it's coming from, so they just label the whole chain the 5 deaths.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's very cool to see. Await rescue craft here. That's what it says.
It gives me gas station vibes from the live show,
from the live tour. Yeah, for sure. You got the typical Jurassic lighting down here. You've got this is a dock of some sort because you can see that there is a tie down right there with rope. So this is like a watercraft approach, but the way he's looking, it feels like it could be like a helicopter or something. So I don't know. I'm assuming he's looking out over water or something, but maybe he's looking at a dinosaur. I don't know. More like
when these here. Like, what if these were like? I mean, what if these were like plesiosaurs that were like had long necks and were like snatching people up?
Yeah, that's for sure. It definitely could
by
be.
the docks.
I find it interesting. Let's go back to that synopsis just for a minute here. If I can find it, where is it? Duncan Kincaid is Zora's most trusted team leader. I don't think he is.
Why?
Look at his belt, man. What is this unsecured vial that's just tucked into his belt? That he is for sure fulfilling the mission where Zora might not be, He's trying to, I would assume, get the job done, get paid, whatever the case is. He's tucked the dino DNA into his belt, which I love that it looks so much like the Indiana Jones vial from Temple of Doom. But yeah, interesting note.
Yeah, I just feel like we better
going rogue.
That's fine, but we better be on Sorna. I'm still just like very much like we need to be on Sorna in this island. Like, okay, how much do we need to justify Jurassic Park 3, right? Because like we don't know what got those guys in Jurassic Park 3 at the beginning of the film, right? We assume some kind of water creature, but like we were never given the answer. Would they answer that question in this movie? Like, yeah, around this island, there's some water creatures and they attack boats. Like,
yeah, that's all they would need to do. It's like, oh, they've been known to take down boats for near 30 years now, like, and we'd be like, okay, that was the confirmation we need.
yeah, exactly. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, that even leans into the 5 deaths, right? Like, you don't have to step foot on the island. There's aquatic animals that stay around the island for some reason, even though the Mosasaur is although I guess there's nothing saying that like aquatic dinosaurs couldn't have been in like a underground, like fenced off area in Sorna, right? Like Sorna for their aquatic animals could have just been like, well, we got the whole ocean, so like store them in a pen on the coast because no one's coming out here anyway, right? Like,
yeah, absolutely. I mean, Jurassic Park 3 did that. They're like, oh, you've already been on this island, but you didn't know that there was this huge flying creature pen. We can. This is the 3rd movie on this island, and we're like, oh, you didn't see this part where there was a huge water pen on the coast.
Yeah.
And that does like attribute to like the guy being like, oh, we're not even going to get close to this island or whatever. Like they're going to get close enough to drop you off, and then they're out of there. They're not even going to stand by. They'll be 2 hours away or whatever he said.
Right. But he will not.
So,
But he will not stay there. I love that line.
The reading is so good.
It's so good. But he will not stay there. I love it.
That's why we got David Kep back, so we can get more lines like that, hopefully, in this movie. What else? Was there anything else? I think that's probably it. I have anything else in the notes to touch on? Trailer. Do you have any thoughts on when we might get a trailer?
I mean, when's this movie come out?
July. Could be a long time, dude. Like
Super Bowl. I think we get a trailer at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean that's probably safe. First trailer, I guess.
I mean, the thing is, teasers aren't really teasers anymore, right? First trailers are usually a pretty big event, and then I think it just kind of dies for 2 months. You get another trailer come March, and then you start entering your. I don't know, man. What do you think the marketing is going to be like on this? Because Dominion felt small marketing wise, but Fallen Kingdom was huge. Do you think they're going to have to market the heck out of this movie to put butts in seats? Because I think it's already been confirmed, right? That like part of the reason why this was fast tracked was because of like license holders like Mattel. Like they have obligations to create product basically so that these license holders can also make product.
I mean, I guess it wasn't, if you think about it, it's the same like 3-year gap as every other movie. So it's like, it just, yeah, I mean, Dominion came out in 22, right? And this is 25. And
I guess, you're right. Like
the only interesting thing is this is 5 years in the future. We've never really gotten a Jurassic movie not set in our timeline.
But
right? So
yeah, but like here's the thing. I get what you're saying. Like, yeah, it's just like the 3 years, like every other movie. But this movie was made like,
yeah, it feels like it was rushed for sure. And
it was rushed, and like, and the thing is, like, it's surrounded by like strikes and labor shortages and all that stuff. So it's just kind of like,
yeah, it's weird.
It's
weird.
Yeah, it's like, oh, we owe Mattel a movie.
Plus, if you think about it, like Dominion was delayed a full year, so there's a chance that they could have been working on this through Dominion, and through these past 2 years. And I think there's a chance that this has been in works for a while, and we just figured it out. And they'll get this movie out in plenty of time. Interesting, Muzzamil says, very good point. I don't know why this showed up right there, but that this could be attached to Wicked. I think that's a huge possibility.
Isn't Wicked like soon?
December.
Wow, do you think this is going to be a trailer? It's like, because every once in a while you get a trailer that's like, next year, witness the rebirth.
Yeah, I think it could be probably a teaser, right? Not a full trailer of any kind. If this does show up in December for Wicked or November, whenever it is, yeah, I guess it's I think they moved it earlier, right?
No idea.
Yeah, it might be the end of November, but it it could definitely show up there and just be like you're saying, like kind of like I would love if they go to the voiceovers again, do something like that, like kind of give us a Jurassic Park teaser trailer, something like that kind of showcases maybe a little insight into what this sinister secret is, or something.
Do you remember the teaser for The Dark Knight? I mean, does it get any crazier than the teaser for The Dark Knight, which is just the logo of Batman?
Oh, just like moving forward?
Yeah, or something like that. Yeah, and it's just like people talking.
I don't know. I don't remember exactly, but I remember going to see the first 5 minutes or whatever it was ahead of something. What was it?
That's right. They used to do that. Star Trek, maybe?
I don't
was it
remember.
ahead of Star Trek? Or did Star Trek play in front of Batman?
Don't remember. It's been so long.
They used to do that. You're right. They used to be like, "Oh, come watch the first." For some reason, come spoil the first event in all these big movies.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay.
Well, that's why he's like, "Oh, I want to put this Dark Knight Rises scene out just to make sure people can audibly understand what Bane is saying." And then everybody's like, "Nope, we can't." You remember how the conversation was only about how horrible the audio was? That you couldn't hear anybody talking because the plane sound was just so loud. It was bad, but fun movie nonetheless.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
But yeah, I don't think
time to go mobile.
I don't think we have anything else to discuss. Now I'm just Sean Connery, I think. We didn't discuss the dinosaurs, but hey, picture some big dinosaurs. That's probably what they're going after. But anything else you want to discuss here before we head out?
No. Did they say the 3 biggest?
I don't know if it was like the 3 biggest. I think it was just like 3 massive, colossal, giant, whatever.
There's 3 Tyrannosaurs at the end of Dominion.
The 3 most colossal creatures within that, but it's also, you can't forget, it says across air, land, sea, and air. So
we're getting the Mosasaur again.
Cats, Mosa, something else that's big.
Sure. All right.
Yeah, but whatever. Excited to find out. Hopefully Wicked's the right call. I think that would be a good call. So
yeah, I think Wicked's a good.
Yeah,
Wicked's a good call. Yep.
Yeah, but that's all we got. So thank you for being here, Aaron. Anything you want to plug or promote? Anything you're doing?
Can't talk about what I'm doing.
Oh.
I'll never get to talk about what I'm doing. Otherwise I'm just hanging out.
He's just hanging out, folks. So yeah, check him out, hanging out wherever he is. And you can find me on Letterboxd, writing some reviews. I'm Brad M. Jost over there. And where else am I? I'm on the TikTok and YouTubes and places like that. And of course, my newsletter. You can join that over on JurassicParkPodcast.com. I've got like a whole link that you can click on right there. Just hit this join newsletter, and you can find it there. And please check out the 2 most recent episodes. We were on a break for the month of August, so that's why there was no live streams and no episodes. But we came back with 2 from Tom, and go check those out. Talking about a lot of the stuff we talked about tonight.
390, buddy.
I know, dude.
Oh my gosh, dude! I remember I started talking with you in the double digits.
Yeah, let's see. Let's see here. I'll take a look and find out exactly when.
I remember the 100th being like a big deal.
Yeah, we recorded like a whole thing together for the 100th. Well, I don't know. I don't know what the plan is for the 400th, depending on if we stay steady or not over the next few weeks. Coming up in October, so we'll see.
For the 400th, for 4, let's do something like the 100th, but slightly worse.
Oh God. All right, so the first thing that we talked about were the top five toys, Jurassic Park toys from series 1 and 2. Any guesses on the date?
Late 2015.
No, later. So June 26th, 2016. And wow. Episode 57.
So I waited
a year.
I waited a year after Jurassic World to reach out. That's crazy.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. You're like, I worked on this thing, but like, I'll wait a year.
Yeah, weird. Whatever.
Yeah, I always like looking back to see like when people joined up, but I think now between either you or Tom, I've probably been on the most amount of episodes. So.
Oh, I think I was in competition with Jen at one point, but it's Tom.
Yeah,
now, huh?
I think so. I've got the whole breakdown. Let's see. So this should be accurate enough, and this doesn't count live streams, so that's a whole different thing. But where is the percentage? With 11.9% coming in, that's you.
Get out of here. I've been on 11% of these episodes.
11%. Tom Jurassic has been on 13% of the episodes, so he's got you beat there.
Ooh, I gotta beat Tom.
Yeah, you gotta beat Tom.
I feel like the live stream where I wore raptor glasses should count as like 5 episodes. Like, right? I should get a 5th. Yeah. I should get a multiplier.
Yeah.
I think because I worked on 3 movies, I should get another like 7% just because I'm that guy. So I got you beat, Tom, true. just by greed and imagination and force and sheer will. I beat you.
Oh man. Well, go check out all those episodes that you can find Aaron on, any of those ones, over on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, the usual podcasting platforms out there, wherever you want to listen to them. Also, go check out these places: Facebook, Instagram, Threads, TikTok. I didn't mention it, but maybe I'll do that now. There was a press release that came out. I should have maybe mentioned that before, but where do I want to go? Let's go over here real quick. I am a host on the Forcecast now, as if I didn't have enough to do.
Nice, dude.
I'm an official co-host on the Forcecast. You can go to forcecast.net to see the press release that they put out over there. So that's me. I'm going to be on the show with Ryan. I've been doing a bunch of episodes. I've been doing the show for years, but now it's like official that I'm a co-host there. So we should be doing, as many episodes as I humanly possibly can. But with the new movie coming up, who knows? But
now, I don't listen to Star Wars content, but let me ask you: Are you guys like a neutral, like hold them to the fire thing? Are you a super positive Star Wars, or are you like a neurotic? We hate everything about everything.
Dude, what do you know about me?
No, that's the thing. I know you're not on the neurotic level.
No,
so I know
absolutely not. No, we're calling out the haters left and right. So, there's been a lot of that with some recent shows and things. But no, I me, I tend to love like everything I see for the most part.
That's fair.
So I'm pretty hyped on all the stuff. Ryan sometimes doesn't love everything. I feel like Ryan's like the you of Star Wars. He likes some stuff for sure, but then like when it comes to like the Rise of Skywalker, he's like, absolutely no, I hate this movie.
Yeah, it's truly awful.
But I'm like, I like it. I like these movies. So yeah, that's what I'm contending with. But
Fair
no,
enough.
I think Ryan, great host. He's been hosting it for a while now, and it's a show that I've liked for a long time. Like, I don't even know, so many years. So yeah, it's exciting to be a part of that as well. And I didn't showcase it, but we got a bunch of episodes out there currently. What was the last one we did? Oh, dude, we did an episode just like me and you. Ryan, the other night, he's like, I'll tell you the topic when we start recording. And I was like, all right. So he pulled out ChatGPT. And we started going down that rabbit hole, dude. It was the same thing.
It's so fun.
Yeah. So we were just having fun with that, like talking about, he asked like, oh, what's the next show topic going to be, like next week? And so we got the show topic from that. And then I said, I think me and you did it at one point, was plug in like a Star Wars Jurassic crossover. What would it be? And we kind of talked about that for a few minutes because it was like hilarious. It was always like,
no, we didn't do that. We did that with Fast and Furious. So
I know we did it with that. I feel like we did it with Star Wars too, but it kept going like Dr. Wu is a cross. There's a cross between a hybrid Dr. Wu and a scientist from Star Wars. So uninspired, but like,
dude, how?
It's like camera pans down to a jungle setting. Creatures walk amongst the planet. Dinosaurs are living in the Star Wars universe. And then like it's just like a hybrid Dr. Wu with Star Wars guy created dinosaurs, and the Empire is trying to use them and the rebels are trying to shut it down, and it was just very typical.
That just goes to show you how prevalent Jurassic World is on the internet as opposed to Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Because it just like everything you do about Jurassic World, like it just deep dives. I mean, it's just looking for words on the internet, right? Like it's just looking through articles. It just hones in on
hybrid,
on a mercenary and hybrids. Like, and that's just like, it's just crazy, dude.
Yeah,
crazy.
We gotta do that again sometime. That was too much fun. So yeah, but yeah, that's the news. And so during the whole month-long break that I was on, it was not a break at all because I just didn't do this show, but I did the Forcecast, I did Grim Grinning Host, so I was doing a ton of stuff. And yeah, now we're back here, so exciting times. We got a lot to talk about. Yeah, but that's it. So thank you everybody for watching. Thank you for chatting. Thank you for the congrats here in the chat. Really appreciate it. Have a good night, everybody, and we'll see you next week, I think, as long as I don't have anything else going on. But see you, everybody. Bye.
See you. Bye.